Hello, Firesiders. I'm Gildart Jackson, and this is Fireside Reading, our daily recap of what we read today, live at 5 Pacific on Instagram, at Fireside Reading. We finished chapter 57, beautifully written, very emotional. David and Peggotty and everyone says goodbye to everyone. They say goodbye to the Micawbers first. It's funny. Mrs. Micawber keeps on harping on about how Micawber is going to make a new start in the new country and one day return, or his progeny will return to England. Everything that the Micawbers do is always humorous. And then they leave the ship only to return the next day, David and Peggotty, to say a final goodbye. The ship is waiting at anchor to be able to get out. And then it is goodbye to the Peggottys. And Mr. Peggotty is just a beautiful, strong man who we clearly love, and David does. He says he's the best man he's ever met. David still hasn't seen Emily, but he remembers to ask Mr. Peggotty, "What about Martha?" And Mr. Peggotty reaches over, and there is Martha, the woman who was shunned and rejected by the people in Yarmouth, who left and became, we think, a prostitute in London, but who helped save Emily. And Mr. Peggotty hasn't forgotten her, and she's there with them, going to a new land. He thinks he sees Emily, and then when Peggotty, of course, in floods of tears, and him leave, and they get on the little boat that they've rented, and they go away from the ship, and they wave goodbye, and everyone cheers, he sees Emily next to Mr. Peggotty, and they see one another, and it's goodbye and the hope that Emily will be able to lead a new life in Australia. It's beautiful, and it's very bittersweet, because we know that all the while David has been harboring this secret that Ham is dead, that Steerforth is dead, and he hasn't told anyone on the ship. Strange to think, in the days before text messaging and the internet, they were going to get to Australia and might never hear of the fact that Ham and Steerforth were dead. It's a beautiful book. I do hope you join us. We're wrapping up all the loose ends, and it's great fun. We read every day at 5 Pacific at Fireside Reading on Instagram, all the chapters uploaded to the YouTube channel, Fireside Reading. Please join us.